All right, guys. Sebastian Milo with Sportico here with Tony Khan. Mr. Khan, so obviously, predominant role with AEW. Talk to me a little bit about how do you seek out talent for AEW, especially in such a competitive market with other, competition leagues and organizations.
Well, absolutely. I think for AEW, we've got the best roster of pro wrestlers in the world, and we scout all over. There are great talent pools. There's great wrestling all over the world. Here in America, independent wrestling. You've got great wrestling in Japan. We've got a great relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling and with Stardom, where we're getting the best women and men out of Japan over the last few years, I really believe, and also out of Mexico, where we've got a great relationship with CMLL, and we work together. There are a lot of wrestlers who work in both promotions, AEW and CMLL, which is the oldest wrestling promotion in the world. CMLL has been running out of Mexico for 92 years, and we're the first promotion with AEW that they've ever hosted in Arena, Mexico. Our most watched episode of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite this year and in the past couple years has been this year's AEW Grand Slam Mexico out of Arena, Mexico, which was fantastic. So getting those great Lucha Libre stars out of Mexico has worked really well for us. Also out of England, the UK has got a fantastic really great crop of young wrestlers, and some of the top young wrestlers in the world have come out of the UK. We've got great stars out of Australia, and they've wrestled all over the world and built their reputations. We've got great stars that come from all over, and there's no one criteria. There's no one set way to be a pro wrestler. They come in all different shapes and sizes and ideas. And what's great about the women and men in AEW is they love pro wrestling. If you're in AEW, it's very likely that you're there because you really love wrestling and you love what you do and you want to be a great wrestler. And AEW is where the very best wrestle.
I want to jump back to talent for a sec, but you did mention about, the markets, right? I know you have shows in Mexico, Australia, London. Outside of that, are there any untapped markets that you're targeting that you feel would be a good place for AEW to expand into?
Well, I absolutely love doing the shows here in the USA every week, and 90% of our shows are here in America. We're on every Wednesday on TBS and every Saturday on TNT, and all the shows live stream, and we've got a library of them on HBO Max. So we've got a great collaboration with Warner Brothers Discovery here in America, which is first and foremost. That's really the lifeblood of AEW, is that TBS, TNT, HBO Max relationship. I think for us, having great shows all over the world, having a roster, like I said, there's great talent pools in Mexico, England, Japan, great places to recruit pro wrestlers, a lot of great wrestlers out of Canada. These are great markets for us, but there's also some untapped markets. So it's a great question that you're asking. I think that we've never done a show in France. I'd love to go to Paris for AEW and all over France. I'd love to go to Germany, which has a great wrestling market. There's a lot of great wrestling fans in Germany. I think that'd be a great place for us to have AEW at some point.
You talk obviously about the incredible talent at AEW. This is more of a fantasy question, right? Who would be your dream signee for AEW that isn't a wrestler? It could be an actor or a sporting star. I know obviously your involvement with Fulham and English Premier League. Who would that be?
That's a great question. Some of the players at the Jaguars and Fulham over the years, people have asked me about getting them in the ring. That's a tremendous question. If I thought about it for a moment, I think that if you look at the history of pro sports, pro boxing, there's been some great pro boxers that have come into pro wrestling. There's been some great MMA stars that have come in and done really well in pro wrestling. Of course, a lot of the top athletes that are crossover stars. For me, the best person we had, and I would love for him to come back anytime, would be Shaq. Shaq's 1-0. But then he's been away from AEW. He disappeared out of the ambulance in 2021, and we haven't seen him since. So I'd love to get Shaq back in the ring. He's got to be one of the all-time greatest stars ever in basketball, and he's undefeated in AEW.
Stepping away from obviously business for a second, more so for you personally, last one for me. What kind of separates you from the great business minds that are here today, and that you're working with, collaboratively as well, competitively, kind of what do you feel is that spark within you that kind of separates you from the rest?
I don't think there is any difference. I think we're all the same. And 52 weeks a year, pro wrestling is the only sport without an off season, so that's a little different. But everybody here loves what they do, and it seems like a great group of people. And I really appreciate Sportico for inviting me to talk about AEW and the Jaguars and Fulham. But I think we're all the same, and there's a lot of similarities with everybody here. So I don't put myself anywhere different than anybody else here. It's a great group of people here.
Appreciate you, Mr. Khan.